Hey, what's up, guys? Brandon again. All right, so I want to really talk about what we're doing here, what we're building inside NOVAEO, and what we've had in the past to really provide you guys with significant context. So this video is for a massive recruiting project that we're doing right now, in which we are building an entire creative agency, call it, for lack of a better word, right now. Inside of our NOVAEO team. So NOVAEO operates like 8 or 9 product brands right now. We have in the works 3 more, and we have about 4 or 5 more planned as soon as we have the manpower to do it. It's a lot of, that's just on the product brand side. Actually, we even have a couple inventions that we need to brand and get to the markets as well that I'm not even including in that. On top of that, if you guys have tried to do any searching for NOVAEO, you're going to find very little. First of all, you probably can't spell it unless it's in the job ad. Second of all, there's not much there. We really only have like placeholder content. Like our website, we only built that website in like 30 minutes because we needed it for trademarking stuff. It's not meant to be publicized. Maybe we have a Facebook. We have an Instagram account with 0 posts. So like, and like even the logo that you might be seeing, we just found that off of a stock thing like years ago because we've never invested in building even our own team brand, because every second of attention and energy and time that we had was better to invest in a revenue generating project, i.e. like a product brand, not a human brand like the team brand. But we've recently started doing quite well. We have quite a lot of money to invest, and we just want to grow at a very rampant rate and build all of our stuff that we've been dreaming of for a very long time. And that includes, in addition to all those brands I talked about, a team brand, NOVAEO. So it means like building the brand, like total rebrand, not even just a refresh, and then all the social media, like really radiating how awesome our team is, getting lots of content out there. Expanding to TikTok too. We're not even on TikTok with anything. My personal brand, which we're calling internally Brand Brandon. I came up with that. I know. Not that I really give too much of a shit. It's actually kind of stressful to have like a public face, but it's what we need to do for our goals. And our goals, I can talk about that another time with you guys, but we have some very, very idealistic vision for what we're going to be creating literally over the next like 40 years. Seriously, I'm a big time visionary. And that's going to require a voice. And then on top of that, we want to be able to build, basically use our creative agency plus our social media agency in order to create a PR focused agency, because we want to be able to build not only my personal brand and the team brand, but the brands of any partners that join NOVAEO. So anyone that really brings a lot of heavy hitting firepower that really operates at a truly high level, which right now would include our partner, co-owner Derek. But in the future, it would actually be something that we would leverage to bring some really high-level people into our team. So, for example, we just started working with Peter Hewitt. He doesn't really publicize himself at all, so you probably have not heard of him. But he is a copywriter and his number one specialty is copywriting. But broader than that, he's like a really, really good coordinator for building DSLs, direct sales letters. So much so that some of like the biggest brands in the US hire him. He charges about $40,000 for 1 week of work. And that's not the kind of level that we can afford to pay anyone, not quite at that level. But we met him personally, and he just really likes what we have going on. He likes our personalities. He wants to join the team. So since we can't afford that level of pay for someone, even if they want to join the team, one of the things that we're able to do is use our PR agency to be like, look, for free, we will build your personal brand. You will own the personal brand. Now, ideally, you're going to use your personal brand for obviously your own goals, but also NOVAEO goals as well. And the idea here is if we build the voices of our high-powered people, the individual voices, then our collective voice is going to be like ultra high power. Like everything's going to amplify and synergize with each other. So literally, we have fuck tons of product brands. Oh, and what I didn't mention is our current product brands, pretty much all of them are going through some level of a rebrand, either a refresh tweak or a full-blown rebrand. So that's like eight or nine brands right now. The 4 or 5 more that are literally in the works right now, or no, I think it's like 2 or 3 that are in the works right now that are brand new brands at varying stages, mostly in the beginning stages. We have about 4 other brands that we want to launch. We have 2 inventions already ready. In fact, here, I'll show you one. This is a portable, like collapsible tripod standing desk. Sweet, right? And it collapses down into a bag like this size. So we have all kinds of work to do on the brand front. We are expanding out to our socials hardcore. We have been really neglecting our socials quite significantly. In fact, that's a key point here. We've been building our brands on Amazon primarily over the past several years. So about like 97% of our sales have been on Amazon. We haven't really cared too much about moving off of Amazon because it's just Amazon is so easy. But here's the thing about Amazon. Content is not king on Amazon, like not at all. In fact, we've even had listings that were some of, not really right now, but some of our highest performing listings in the past only had like 20% of the content that you can actually post to an Amazon listing. But that landscape is starting to change, and it's mostly because of the pandemic. So what happened during the pandemic is people stopped going to stores to buy stuff, which means those huge brands. So like in our skincare world, it'd be like Neutrogena, I guess Proactive's always been online, but like huge brands like Neutrogena that had most of their sales happen from selling through brick and mortar stores. People stopped going to stores. So then all of a sudden they're like, okay, fuck, we got to change our business model, our strategy. And then they moved to e-commerce, and then that, Amazon in the US, Amazon is like the e-commerce platform. So they moved into Amazon, and what that ended up doing, then they started hiring these like really high-end, really expensive agencies. Now these agencies they don't know Amazon either. So they made really high quality content, but it's not specifically strategized for Amazon. And Amazon's a different animal than just having nice looking content. It's not about using models for your product, these beautiful people that are heavily filtered and all that stuff. No, it's more about UGC, like real people. I know some other platforms are kind of like that too, but there's a whole lot more. It's not about having really elegant branding on Amazon. No, it's more about being like, on any Amazon page, you have tons of competitor products and listings all over the place, ads, everything. So it's more about directing the eyes. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit too, but my point in telling you all this is that our brands were built for Amazon, but now we are not only building significantly more brands, not only more human brands, to support the growth of the start and the growth of the PR agency, but even all of our current brands, we want to basically tweak so that they can also do well off of Amazon. Still Amazon. In fact, we got to change all of our Amazon content too, to at least, even though these like content still doesn't really seem to be king, we want to raise our bar up a little bit more because it's probably going to start mattering more and more. But anyway, we want to start getting social media ad funnels, which means we need to build social media significantly better than it currently is. And we even want to ready ourselves for brick and mortar because we have some connections, just we haven't really pulled those triggers yet. And we're also moving into Latin American markets, and soon after that will be Asian markets. So we need these like really growing our strategy significantly. So these branding tweaks are going to be really important. So that means that literally we need like every single type of creative that any e-commerce company could fathom, from like email marketing to bot flow marketing to DSLs to social media, every single social media platform, still Amazon, print media, Oh, blogs. We want to do tons of blogs. In fact, I don't think we have this in our job ad. We already have our job ad actually posted. We're going to be adding this video to the job ad. So if you're just now seeing this video, know that that job ad's already floating around. We're going to be adding this to it. But we're now partnered with a guy that specializes in AI, Jasper specifically. So Jasper can create some pretty wild copy, but it still takes a person to do inputs. So we're actually going to be creating a branch in our creative agency of people that want to learn Jasper AI, which Jasper is not too far away. Actually, it already can do design, AI design. How weird is that? And it's actually pretty good, but they're not marketing it yet. I've gotten access through our partner to see like what Jasper's working on. It's pretty wild. But we're not going to go completely AI. AI can't fix all the holes. AI is great for just producing tons of content, but it's not very good at like specifically strategic content. It's more like the masses. So anyway, we want to create shit tons of blogs, tons, and for all of our brands. So literally everything that an e-commerce brand or plethora of agencies could possibly want, that's what we want to be able to do. So we're going to be building, I envision probably around a 7 or 8 person design team and probably about 4 or 5 copywriters, all full-time, plus one copywriting editor, one QA specialist that's both on the copy and the design side, and then a creative lead or a creative director. The future vision, it's going to take us a little while to get to this, mind you, but the future vision is once we've built so much momentum, we've done a lot of what we need to do for all the projects that we have internally, is to actually then turn it into a true agency where we're even attracting clients from the outside, which means we'll even establish like I don't like this word CEO, it doesn't fit with our culture, but since you guys don't know our culture yet, I'll just use the word CEO. We'll even establish a CEO, or maybe that creative director actually has CEO potential and can be the CEO. That's going to be dependent on that person. But eventually we want to establish a CEO and actually start marketing the creative agency itself in order to attract clients. There's actually a whole lot more to that story too. We're going to be turning all of our business functions, like we have manufacture, like we're vertically integrated. We have all kinds of business functions that support all of these brands. And right now we just monetize through selling our product brand products to customers, but eventually we want to monetize by turning everything into a service to bring in outside clients. And once the manufacturing arm brings in an outside client, now all of a sudden it's like, well, hey, do you need creative work done? And then get pushed to the creative agency. But anyway, getting a little further away from myself. Point is like what we're doing here, we're really building something big, and it all starts now. And so we're in a massive recruiting phase. So what we really need from you is during the application process, we really need to know truly what you're most interested in. We have questions that you're going to answer. Do not try to guess what it is that we want you to say. That's going to lead us to a downfall, no success. We want rock stars in every single aspect from, even when it's just like video design. Well, even video design, there's so many different things that go into video design. There's so many different types of video design, whether we're talking reels or long form animation, So tell us exactly what your skills are, exactly what your passions are, because we have so much work to do that we can align you right into those passions so that you are constantly working on stuff that you are truly passionate about. So don't try to guess what we want. Be very honest with your answers. The other part is what markets are you in and are interested in. And this is especially, this is especially true for the copywriters, but it's important for the designers too. But when it comes to the copy, what we would like to do, so we have dietary supplements, we have tea, we have natural / like clean beauty products, so like skin and hair care, household products, basically like all these kinds of like health and wellness brands. We want to find at least one copywriter that is super passionate and preferably already knowledgeable about each, like one copywriter per one of our markets. So much so that they basically become a specialist for that market, maybe even part of our formulation team. And someone that could even train our customer service team about the market, about the ingredients, about the formulas, about all that stuff. So it's not really just a copywriter. It's actually more of like a specialist that has copywriting abilities, because we want our specialist to be able to be the one that puts us out there, because that's something that's really important to us. We really want to provide valuable content, not just fluffy content, to our customers, to potential customers, to followers, etc. So, but yeah, even on the design side, you're going to be better at doing your work if you're more passionate about the market that you're working on. So if you don't give two shits about cars and you keep on getting stuck doing car photos, then you're not going to be very passionate. We don't do cars, don't worry. So same is true if you don't give two fucks about skincare, then we won't have you doing skincare. Maybe you're more interested in dietary supplements or something like that. So be brutally honest. And honestly, if it's none of them, then be honest about that, because we still need generalists too. We need to make sure we build this rockstar team perfectly. We need everything. So we need generalists, we need specialists, we need everything under the sun of every type of creative asset that can possibly be produced. And the way my brain works is I look at the resources we have, i.e. the skills and the interests and the passions of the people, and say, okay, we have someone that can do really good blah, blah, blah. How do we turn that into value? So whereas most businesses go, okay, we need this, let's find someone that can do this, which makes sense. We do some of that too. My brain says, okay, what do we have? Therefore, what can we produce with that? So be super honest. The test projects that we're going to do, because honestly, it's been pretty consuming for me to go through portfolios. And if I'm looking at a design portfolio and I'm seeing stuff that is like cars, maybe your person's really skilled, but it's man, this just doesn't really relate to what we do. So it's kind of hard to be I don't know if they're going to be able to do skincare very well. They're great with doing car photos. That doesn't necessarily translate. So instead, what we're going to be doing is we're putting together a massive list of all of our basically current and future assets. Not necessarily all of them, but just trying to get a list of a little bit of everything. And then you guys are going to pick basically the 3 things that you would like to create, and note your number 1. And we're going to start with that. It's going to be a paid test project. So you'll then create that number 1 thing that you'd like to create. We'll have whatever the pay is going to be for that test project, which isn't meant to be super. It's not like we're hiring a freelancer. I mean, this is part of our recruiting process. So we just want to give you something for your time, but this is still part of our recruiting process. So it'll be a paid test project. You submit the work. If we're feeling it, maybe we ask for tweaks or whatever. If it's perfect, then it's perfect. And if it's you're probably not a good fit, then we'll just let you know before moving on. Then we'll move on to a second, and then a third. And if you crush all 3, then you'll get a full-time job offer. And that's gonna be how we go through things here. So be very honest about your skills, your interests. Don't fluff anything. Your interests in terms of the role that you would have, and then also your interests in terms of the brands, the personalities. Oh, I didn't mention that before. What brand personalities do you align yourself with? It's best if we have multiple personalities between all of our brands. So we'll probably be asking for inspo brands. What brands do you align yourself with on a personality level? Especially for copywriters. Well, actually, it's both. It's both on both sides of the fence, copy and design. So just be super honest with us, and yeah, those that are truly gifted will definitely find a spot on our team. Cool? All right, guys. Thanks for watching.